am the fire, I am burning brighter, roaring like a storm, and I am the one I've been waiting for.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Jade Feinics here with yet another wonderful filled episode of the Feinics Gate, and
I'm back.
there he is.
Make life simple on you guys. She's Jade Feinics. I'm Josh Feinics, and this is the Feinics Gate, bringing you yet another issue.
Yes, hashtag Phoenix Nation. What? Phoenix Nation. What? Anyways, we are here. If any of you tuned into a couple episodes ago before Josh joined me, I did an episode about the origins of your Halloween tradition. So what are we doing tonight?
Happy Turkey Mash Genocide Day!
Yay! We're doing basically the origins of that. And believe it or not, even though in all of our research between the two of us, there really isn't a lot. I have a feeling a lot of it was lost to history.
Yes,
in all
or the
honesty,
CIA, but we won't talk about that.
Or Rush Limbaugh. Considering he had a big thing about it in one of the articles that I was researching. Apparently he had this big thing about Turkey Day.
Before we get into the podcast, we do have some breaking news. In true presidential tradition, this year, President Trump unfortunately found out that the turkey he was going to pardon was brown, working for ISIS, and was a Russian spy, so he deported it.
Yeah, he did. It's in
Sorry,
Mexico.
not sorry.
It's in Mexico. Or did he go to Canada for the free healthcare?
Well, if I were that turkey, I'd go to Canada.
It's true.
It's like, what kind of king lives by the train tracks? What is this, Mexico? Hey, fat man.
Oh my god. We're going to get in so much trouble for the shit that we say, but who cares?
Do you have any Cool Whip?
Do you have any Cool Whip?
Cool Whip.
Why are you saying it like that?
Saying it like what? It's Cool Whip.
Say cool.
Cool.
Say whip.
Whip.
Now say Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
What the fuck? I love that skit.
Jade, you are ruined. It's ruined.
And say ruin. Ruin. Aye.
So,
Anyways.
we all know the third Thursday in November every year is Thanksgiving, where the intrepid English colonists known as the Pilgrims came across to the New World.
People that were so uptight that England said, get the fuck out.
Get your pimp shoes and your buckle hats and get the fuck out. But they landed on Plymouth Rock, where, I think the indigenous people kind of wish that Plymouth Rock had landed on them. But they landed there, and the indigenous peoples were so welcoming, and they helped them learn how to farm and hunt and fed them, and they all sat down for the first Thanksgiving.
Or at least that's what we were told in school.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's not exactly what happened.
So let me tell you what the situation is. Okay.
The problem is both Josh and I are actually Irish and can trace our lineage back hundreds of years. So we honestly have absolutely no indigenous blood at all in our bodies. Do you? No, I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. You do.
The Tainos.
Right. Your Puerto Rican side.
Yes. Puerto Rican side is strictly Tainos.
Which is hysterical because people don't realize he's actually half Puerto Rican.
Oh, especially it's great at work.
Oh, God, yeah. Especially because you're fluent in Spanish.
See?
I love it.
But anyway, in reality, yes. The Pilgrims, a group of people so fucking uptight that the British kicked them out. So they get on a ship and they head for the New World.
Well, they're actually following in the footsteps of British colonizers that came here beforehand, 8 or 10 years before the Pilgrims actually landed. It's actually said that British colonizers came here before that and actually brought, smallpox? Smallpox with their cattle.
It is good to meet you. We bring you this corn as a gift.
Right.
Well, thank you very much, Chief. We bring you syphilis and alcohol.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. It actually, because the indigenous people of the North America had absolutely no antibodies to fight smallpox, it wiped out 90% of the population before the Pilgrims even got here. So by the time they did actually land on Pilgrim Rock, as it's called now, which I'm sure it had some amazing Indian artifact name, which has been lost to history, their people was already like decimated from the smallpox epidemic. So like more white people coming to their shores, they're
and they
probably
bring a
sitting
whole
there.
new disease. They bring syphilis.
Yes.
And now, how did the
And
indigenous
scurvy.
and scurvy
And scurvy.
and how did the indigenous peoples get?
Oh my God, my cat, he's pissing me off today.
Yes, and how did the indigenous peoples get syphilis? You don't say mass rape. But that's all we're really going to say about that because I don't like to talk about that.
Me,
But anyway.
hashtag me too.
Yeah.
Hashtag
me too many years ago.
hashtag many moons ago.
It brings great sadness to my heart for many
Which is
moons.
actually brings me to the next point. While white people like Josh and I turn around and be like, oh, Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, and like do the little parade. I don't believe in that shit. But they do the parade thing. The indigenous peoples actually do gather and call it the International Day of Mourning.
I didn't know that Snoopy was at the first Thanksgiving, or
Ah,
SpongeBob,
or
or Dora the Explorer.
Or Goku, because apparently that's the new balloon that's debuting tomorrow morning. Whatever.
But anyway, yeah. So the Pilgrims or the colonists or whatever the hell you want to call them, they landed on Plymouth Rock, and came across this wonderful indigenous person named Squanto, who magically spoke perfect English.
Why is that? Did he speak? Why? Tell us why.
Well, gather round, children, and I'll tell you a story.
Because you know who remembers? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I remember.
I remember.
Now,
Butter!
to the
I'm
point.
so sorry about the dog.
To the point. Yes, Squanto
Hi,
spoke
Jeff.
perfect English. Now, the fact of the matter is, many, many years before he came across the Pilgrims, Squanto had been kidnapped from North America and brought over to Europe as a slave.
By
Well,
those
he-
same settlers that gave everyone smallpox.
So he learned English to survive, and then they sort of muddied, but I'm guessing he either got set free or bought his freedom, or
I
God
don't
knows
really
what.
know. I think
But he got free and went back.
That shit was lost in history. They don't keep accurate records like that. They really did not in this. What is it? 1600s.
Something.
Yeah. Because like I think it was like 1612. I don't whatever.
They're around.
Whatever.
But anyway, so yeah. He's very capable to facilitate communications between the indigenous Native Americans of the New World and the European settlers, because he already knows the language of both people.
It's true.
So, took it upon himself to help out. Wasn't asking for, anything really.
No, I mean he basically probably wanted to avoid another mass genocide of his people by what's the word I'm looking for here?
Imperialists,
Yeah,
invaders.
white scum. And I'm white, so I can say that. And it's not has nothing to do with white guilt, because my people didn't even set foot here until like 200 or 300 years later.
Invasions in my veins. Do not deny my veins.
Do not deny my heritage. I mean, is it appropriation? Because Thanksgiving technically is a massive, massive appropriation if you think about it.
Yep. Appropriate, it's not Wamapoke or whatever tribe it was. It's not their corn. It's Indian corn.
Right, and it gets even better.
Which is a horrible misnomer, because everybody assumed just because they were brown and mostly naked that these people landed in
Savage.
India, which is where Indians came from. They were so far from India, it's not even
It's
funny.
very true. Some of their medicines to this day, I'm sorry if my cigarettes weren't
No,
bothering
not
you.
at all.
To this day, Indian medicine, and I hate that term, mind you, I'm going to say Native American medicine, okay, is still superior to a lot of the prescription medication that was created in a lab. It's true.
And a lot of popular medications in this day and age were derived from plants. I mean, hey, I doubt anybody that's listening to our show has AFib. If you do, you can thank natural medicine.
Yeah.
Because digitalis, which was the first medication really given for AFib, was derived from the foxglove plant.
And foxglove's actually a poison.
Yeah.
Foxglove is a poison, as is opium and
Atropine.
and literally all of these medications that we have were created originally by plants. Like poultices and all sorts of things were made by the Native Americans. So we come in with our superior ways and tell them that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Our superior medicine. Oh, you've got a cut on your foot. Got to cut off your leg.
Gotta cut it off. Sorry, it's gonna get gangrenous. Gotta go. It's gotta go. I mean,
But it's not even that bad.
It's not. And yet the funny thing is these are people, and honestly, this
I'm
is
not dead yet.
no, and this is a fun fact that I learned actually that because I'm a gigantic nerd, and so is Josh. And we literally learn everything we can about a subject that actually interests us. And Native American culture and the people actually did really interest me. So it actually was funny that they did a genetic study. The Native Americans share absolutely nothing genetically with any other people in the entire world. None. There's no connections. None. Like, you know how some people, like they say the Eskimos, they have indigenous blood to like Asia and everything that came over the Bering Strait before the seas rose and stuff like that. Native Americans don't have that. They are the purely pure genetic code. There's no other genetic code like it in the entire world. Like, where you and I are genetically probably mutts, even though we can trace back our lineages to God knows when. We still probably have a touch here and there for who knows what, because somebody probably slept with a slave. Somebody probably did something. I know Irish people are not pure because we were fucking taken over by the Romans.
Yeah, I'm Black Irish. And for those who don't know what the term Black Irish means, that's when the Spanish Armada was sunk by the British Navy, and they washed up on the shores of Ireland and had sexy time with the Irish women. So they were half Spaniard and half Irish.
And let's not get it twisted. The Irish women originally were Celtic. And the Celtic people also came from the Gauls and the Vikings and stuff like that, because Vikings went around and slept with everybody. The Irish people...
Rape, loot, and pillage.
Rape, loot, and pillage. The Irish people are also one of the earliest known slaves. Because when Rome came in and took over the British Isles and Wales and Ireland and all that, all of it, England, nothing, they imported our people back as slaves. So the pure Irish bloodline is probably lost in time, just like the Native American pure bloodline has been lost in time thanks to us.
Yes. And now if you want to find people that have a lot of Native American blood, unfortunately, you have to make a reservation.
7. Oh my God, we're going to hell. We don't believe in that, so we're good.
But okay, but we got off topic a little bit.
We did. But
back to the first turkey mass genocide day.
Right, and that's the other thing. They did not eat turkey. No.
As a matter of fact, the Pilgrims ate everything pretty much except turkey.
Right.
They ate other wildfowl, pheasants and guinea fowl and stuff like that.
And, yeah, anything
geese,
venison, which is deer.
venison, clams, mussels, eel. I mean,
anything that they could
historians
get their hands
found
on.
like one of the first things they made in the New World was an eel pie.
Ugh.
Excuse me, I just threw my mouth a little bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy eel with my sushi.
Yeah, that's what a Phoenix roll is.
Yeah, I know. But, like, let's not get it twisted, guys. We're talking about a people that came here. What did you tell me? That they came originally, it was like a couple hundred people?
Yeah, it came a couple hundred, and due to scurvy and all these other diseases, when they landed on Plymouth Rock, only like no more than like 6 adult females were still alive. So yeah, I think the Pilgrims' prerogative, once they set up some houses or huts or whatever, was I guess to get shagging and repopulate
as best they
could.
As best they could. Yeah, but then
also
let's not get it twisted. Any women that they slept with or any children that came from said union were not even considered people, because they viewed the Indians, even though they were trying to help them, as savage and godless people who, because they didn't know any better. And it is what it is. I mean, let's not get it twisted. We're here to talk about the darker side of Thanksgiving here, because we have a lot of wonderful traditions.
And even beyond sexing up the indigenous peoples, they did have 5, 6 of their own women, but I mean,
they can't exactly service 100 men, even though they probably did. But again,
not in this age without movie cameras.
The thing is a lot of the history from this time
is very foggy.
It's not just foggy; it's been lost in time. I mean, they're like one of the big things that most people don't realize is that when the first Thanksgiving did not take place the first year that they came here. It actually happened they say their hypothesis. Butter. Really?
Butter. Cállate la boca.
Oh my God, my dog will not stop tonight. I don't understand what the hell's the problem. But the first Thanksgiving actually never really took place until maybe 5 years into them actually being here.
After they were freezing their asses off.
Dying.
trying
and
to,
right.
I don't know, trying to eat rocks.
Yeah, and then the best part about it is they were stealing from the Native Americans.
And the Native Americans are pretty much like, oh, you take it. You need it more than I do.
They weren't, though. That's the thing, is there was a lot of fighting because they were raiding indigenous stores of grain. They were looting the graves of the Indians for their trinkets, because obviously they're,
they're their precious stones and metals and whatnot.
Right. I mean, this is all stuff that we...
Oh, you bury your dead with all their possessions. How Egyptian.
Which they didn't even know about.
Well, I think they knew about ancient Egypt in that time.
They just refused to acknowledge it because, remember, also the people that came here were Puritans.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is...
Well, no, the Egyptians were in their literature. It's called the Bible.
Yeah.
It was in the Bible.
Butter!
I'm going to release you.
Yeah.
I'm going to release you, and I'm probably not going to let you back.
Puppy is excited about the holiday tomorrow, Jeff, but she's staying home. She's staying here while I get to go feast upon the massive amount of food that's going to be at my mother's. So it is what it is on that one. And if you are just joining us, this is the Phoenix Gate. We are talking about the darker side of Thanksgiving. Now, here's the screwed up part. We did a lot of research. I did research. Josh did research. But there's not a lot that can be found about these people because it's been lost in history. And honestly, a lot of it's been whitewashed.
No pun intended. Well, actually, pun intended.
Massive pun intended, because why would we want to admit that we are assholes ever? I mean, granted, our people didn't settle here, but others did. I mean, I'm sure there's people that can trace their lineage back to the Pilgrims. I mean, Smith. Jones. I mean, but we're talking about these people really didn't have much to begin with because they were dealing with the massive fallout of a 90% population shift. So,
yeah. and you would think that the European settlers would have a little bit of sympathy for that, considering it happened in Europe too. Black Plague.
Well, yeah, but well, what's that word? What is that word that they use? It was their divine right to
manifest destiny.
Thank you. Did they have manifest destiny in Pilgrim?
I think manifest destiny came some years later, but it's the same basic idea.
It's the same basic principle, where we thought we were superior when in a lot of ways we were not. And we decided we were going to bring our superiority to people that really didn't need it. But we felt that they did. So
they were doing just fine without us.
Okay. I just heard one of my cats cry. I don't know.
Because they're staring at Butter out there.
They really are. Butter's just going wild out there. Okay. I'm going to have to put her in the bedroom if she keeps it up. I really am. But, I mean, we're really...
We were both very hard pressed to find much more than we already found out.
It's true.
That, the colonists came over and they were raiding native stores and raiding burial mounds and
just
pretty much just being a dick.
And the other thing is we didn't know the soil here. While it was very rich, you have to understand, most of the people that settled here from England became coastal, which is why most of our colonies were all based on coasts or on rivers and stuff like that, because we needed the guideways and the stories and also the food that came from the river with fish and trout. And that's the other thing.
And just on a slightly New York-centric point for a second.
Sure.
Plymouth Rock was in what state again?
Massachusetts, I think.
So the first European settlers, the Pilgrims, were all a bunch of massholes. There, I said it.
Could be in Connecticut.
No, it's Massachusetts.
It is Massachusetts.
No, they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. But we're talking about people that came here with nothing. So they wanted to build a new life. And we understand that, because who doesn't want to build a brand new life from the ashes of an old one? And my issue is I don't apologize for what happened because it wasn't my people.
I didn't do it.
We didn't do it.
I was dead at the time.
Oh, I wish I was, honestly. But also, do you watch the show Outlander?
So much, yes.
Oh my God, yes. Have you been watching this season?
No, I've fallen tragically behind on Outlander.
This season, believe it or not, they're in America.
Are they?
Yes.
Actually
the last episode. I'm not going to give too much away. They're in North Carolina.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I need to catch up on Outlander
It's
then.
so good. But like it actually does. I love the fact that Outlander, the way they are right now, they're right about 8 years before the American Revolution.
Yeah, because I mean, well, the whole backdrop of Outlander is the Jacobite Revolution.
Exactly. In
Bonnie
Scotland.
and Bonnie Prince Charlie.
It's true.
Which was on a side note,
Tony
good-
just can't get enough of you tonight.
good job, Prince Charlie. You know, you got the Highlanders fighting to put you on the throne, and what are you doing? You're sitting in Italy on your fat ass. There, I said it.
Well, either way, I like the fact that Outlander is kind of delving into like, you know, what was going on during that time. Because I mean, yeah, granted, we're like we're 100 years after the Plymouth Rock, and everybody's really settled, and the white people there are really going, but they also are touching on slavery, a lot of slavery. But not to get off topic, you know, they did in the latest episode that I did watch, they did mention how they were having in North Carolina a lot of problems with the indigenous people there. And most people who don't know the back history or only know what's being told to them in the history books are not going to really understand. Well, why did the Native Americans hate us so much? This is part of the reason why.
Roanoke.
This is part of the reason why, guys, because we're literally talking about a history steeped in blood, and this is one of the fucking traditions that came from it. I mean, how are you gonna fucking decimate 90% of a population of a people and then sit down to a fucking dinner and be everything's okay, everything's fine? She's fine, let her be. She's good, you know. But like, it's one of those things where you're gonna sit there and you're like, am I really thankful for this right now? Like, am I really, truly thankful?
I mean, at the core of it, yeah, we're thankful for our health and friends and family and all that jazz.
Of course.
But, I mean, when you really look back at it, you know, there's not much for some people to be thankful about.
Tony, if you step on this computer again, you and I are going to fight. Cat butt.
Kitty combat. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Well, you tell them some more things that you learned about while I go deal with the dog.
Okay. Like I said, you know, where we're at right now, yeah, there were only like 5 or 6 women that made it over, but there were a lot of female juveniles, but we're not going to even talk about that. Let's not, please. But, you know, they came over there. They didn't really have much in the way of, like, you know, forces per se, because a lot of men, you know, even though a lot of women died, a lot of men died, a lot of children died on the boats over. Livestock, and you know what happens when livestock rots? It forms disease, and then, you know, they just didn't feel like it, and they did what a kid does when he spills milk and thinks he's gonna get in trouble. He just throws a blanket over it. Put a blanket over it. And then what does that lead?
You already know, Cat.
Yeah, then it leads to, you know, smallpox, diphtheria, cholera, all these things that, you know.
The Indians.
Since we're speaking about cholera was a horrible disease in that time with a really simple cure: fresh water.
That's it.
That's all you needed. However, the European imperialists did have a medicine for treating cholera. Key ingredient: strychnine. Another poison, where just a little fresh water
would have taken care of it.
I'm sorry, they landed in the New World. They had nothing but fresh water all around.
Well, yeah.
They landed in November. It was snowy, so you can just scoop up some snow. Hi, Peanut.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get this twisted. We're not sitting here saying that it should not happen, that you sit around your table with your family and friends and enjoy the food that we have now, you know, and but you should feel guilty about it.
Yeah, just be a little more cognizant of what really happened.
I mean, what is it that the kids say? Stay woke? I hate that fucking term. I really do. But, like, I mean, there's just... We keep harping on the same, like, points, but, like, honestly, that really comes down to it is because there really isn't a lot of history based on it.
There's a lot of known history.
Right. There's a lot. Guys! Oh, my God.
Peanut, who never wants to play, now wants to play.
Yeah, apparently. You keep talking, I'll take care of that.
Okay. Hey, Peanut!
Hey!
Well, that was short-lived.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, well, that having been said, yeah. So they came over, they took, and they gave disease and alcohol in reverse. Now, don't get me wrong, because as you can see, I like alcohol, but I'm not a big fan of disease. And if somebody came over to my apartment, cleaned out my fridge, and then all they gave in return was like a Bud Light and a case of the clap, I wouldn't be too fucking happy about it.
I'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds funny, but when you look at the core of it, that's what it really was.
That's what it really is.
They came in, they cleaned out the indigenous people's food stores, and they left a lukewarm six-pack of Bud Light and a case of the herp, or the clap, or the chlamyds, or a combination of all of the above.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that some of those diseases actually were from back
Syphilis
then.
and gonorrhea, definitely. I don't know about chlamydia. AIDS was much, much later down the line.
AIDS is
Herpes, definitely.
yeah. Because they always called it like sores, and they always said it was because, whatever, because the fucking harlots all had it.
And they spread it around.
Oh yeah.
They spread that
Spread
shit
that
around
shit
like
more than
Nutella
they
on
spread
toast.
their legs.
They spread it around like Nutella on toast.
I'll never be able to eat Nutella again.
I think you'll somehow get over it.
I'll be fine. But let's not get it twisted. I like Thanksgiving. Why? Because it gives me an excuse to be a happy fat kid for one day.
Happy drunk fat.
Happy drunk fat kid. You're right. Thank you. And it does, it's nice to see some family that I don't see all the time. Granted, my family is small. So for me, seeing my other cat is like getting in the way here. And there she goes.
There she goes.
There she goes again.
Would make sense because she was up on the table
It
before.
would. But it's like I'm not sitting here saying poop on your holiday. I'm not, because I myself, there's a fucking kitchen full of fucking shit that I gotta cook for tomorrow. I'm not sitting here saying that we shouldn't enjoy this holiday. I'm just sitting here saying that.
Yes, Jeff, we will all be drunk tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'll be drunk after 5:30.
He's got to work.
Yeah, I have to work on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's time and a half to sit on my ass and watch TV probably.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't beat that.
No. I'm not in any way, shape, or form, and neither is Josh, sitting here telling you feel bad about your holiday.
No, not at all.
We're just trying to educate you a little bit on the things
just
that.
Be mindful of mainstream historians will tell you one thing, and that's kind of why we're here. We're here to give you maybe the other side of things that is not as easily reported.
As best as we can report to our ability.
Yes.
Because remember, we are not professional historians.
No.
We do not make a habit of learning about colonial and pre-colonial America. We're not. We're two paramedics. That's what we do. We're the ones, and the funny thing is we sit here and complain about the medicines that are made from foxglove, yet we use it fairly often.
Well, I don't have a choice of giving it to my patients, but when was the last time you saw me take a Tylenol or an Advil or Robitussin or NyQuil? No. For those nobody would know. I actually treat myself with herbal medicines. I'm actually quite an adept practitioner of herbal medicines.
He is, and he does not mean pot. So don't think that.
No.
No, we don't think that.
No. I'm talking sore throats,
Yeah.
herbal extracts and
tinctures
and stuff like that.
Potions.
For spring salves and poultices made from pretty much just beeswax and some other sort of medium and herbal infusions and stuff like that.
I mean, again, we're not sitting here shitting on your holiday. We just want you to understand that there's more to it. Just like in Halloween, like my Halloween episode, you guys, there's more to the reasons why. Like you put a jack-o'-lantern out in front of your house, but did you know why? No. Now you kind of do. If you listen to that episode, listen to this episode. Now you know why. I mean, again, they did not eat turkey that day. They ate anything they could find. Venison, fowl, and they did not
wild
have
boar, whatever the heck they could find.
Snake. They did not have chickens. Just
I'm a snake.
They didn't have a lot of the resources that we have today. They had, they didn't eat cranberries because, believe it or not, cranberries in November would have been too tart to eat, and they did not have sugar.
I think they might have still eaten cranberries just for no other reason than some of the
Nutrients.
nutrients and stuff that may have helped to fight off the scurvy and all these other things. Because these people were basically,
Sick.
I mean, look, let's make one thing absolutely clear. When you're on a ship like that, and I'm not talking about Norwegian cruise lines or nothing like that. Ships back then, when you needed something to drink, you were basically drinking like filtered toilet water.
Not even. They had wooden barrels. They would have wooden barrels that they would fill with water, and that water would be contaminated in so many ways because it was also not just your drinking water; it was your bathing water. It was your water for anything.
And they recycle
Cooking
that
water.
shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think that
I am indeed parched.
Why does this water taste like armpit? Because I just took a bath in it.
Yeah.
Like the cooking stuff. They cooked with this water.
See, now, but you had a less chance of infection with the cooking water because you were heating it, and heat kills germs.
Yeah.
Less of a chance.
Less of a chance. But let's not forget that what was another outbreak that they had on ships a lot? Oh my God. Red fever. Typhoid.
Yeah. Typhoid, rat fever, red fever, scurvy. God knows what else.
Yeah. I mean, there were ships, measles, mumps, rubella,
Measles, mumps, rubella, even maybe
chicken
a little
pox.
monkeypox.
Yeah.
Because Marco Polo had already gone to Asia and come back.
Truth.
And then even a little touch like the Black Plague was still floating around somewhere.
Somewhere.
The bubonic plague. I mean, it does pop up every so often throughout history.
It does. I mean,
In
even
smaller
now,
cases,
now, there's still the Black Plague still exists in some places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, granted, it's
Third world countries.
much easily contained, but like we're talking about
But
people.
there is no Black Plague in Wakanda. Wakanda forever.
Mm-hmm. But my whole thing is these pilgrims and these Indians, and I hate using the term Indians, but that's what they referred them to.
Peoples.
Thank you. The indigenous people actually sat down for this meal and it wasn't a big gathering of happy people celebrating the unity of two people that came together. It was actually like a stare down at the OK Corral.
Now, mind you, not only did they sit down with their white imperialists for a meal in the hopes of maybe brokering some kind of peace, they made all the food too.
Most of it.
So pretty much the pilgrims were kind of like, your Uncle Jimmy that sits in the corner and doesn't do a damn thing to help out, but complains about how dry the turkey is.
And that's where his to-go plate is at the end of the dinner, after not helping you clean up.
And his to-go plate is the size of it's like one of those big buffet trays.
Yeah. But like again,
and let's be honest, folks. We all got family like that. They come over, they eat all your food, and then they want to take all the leftovers home.
I mean, what's the most valued tradition that I have for Thanksgiving is I watch the Thanksgiving Day parade because Santa's coming to town. Sorry, fuck you. Who put up your Christmas lights now? Santa does not come until tomorrow. Y'all are early, and that's why we had a snowstorm last week.
Yep. Pretty
that
much.
and global warming.
It's an inconvenient truth.
One that nobody likes to acknowledge, especially orangutans. Actually, that's giving orangutans a bad name. Let me say Cheeto. It's
fake
huge.
news. It's fake news. Fake news.
It's fake news.
But it's going to be huge.
We could rake to stop forest fires. We could rake. Like they do in Finland.
Which is, what's the really funny thing about things like that? Okay.
I don't know.
The Cheetos big to-do that he's done since he's taken office is the illegal aliens. Now, you want to rake fires out? Well, why'd you kick them all out? They're adept with rakes.
Why do you think that romaine lettuce and all of our turkeys now have salmonella? Yeah.
Because it's fucking rabbit's food and it's gross.
Well, yeah. But, haven't we noticed that?
Yeah.
We fuck with somebody that deals with our food, i.e., like we did with the Indians, and all of a sudden we're sick.
Yeah. Even let's jump into the modern time.
Let's do it.
I quote the movie Waiting. Don't fuck with people that handle your food.
Ever.
And
we both worked.
We've had friends that have worked in the food service industry.
I've worked in the food service industry.
Yes.
You never did?
No.
I did. Whew.
Yeah. That whole thing with the board, the biatches and assholes of the day. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And
Maybe not to the extent that they show in the movie, but it does happen.
it depends how much of an asshole you are. Because I had a friend that was the expo manager at Applebee's years and years ago.
Plead the fifth.
And pretty much, if you were nice about it, like, listen, I asked you to not put tomatoes. Could you please take it back or I'll just tip it. Please be more mindful in the future. If you're very polite about it, yeah, they'll fix your food, no problem.
Kidding me? Half the time they may even give you a brand new burger.
Yeah, but if you're an asshole about it, yeah, they're gonna. Your triple cheeseburger is gonna get a fourth cheese, and it's called some Fremunda cheese.
Or a little Parmesan.
Garlic salt.
Nah. Anyways.
Fresh guacamole.
But let's also let's talk about turkey. Let's definitely get into turkey. The first Thanksgiving did not have turkeys, and Benjamin Franklin actually wanted to, after the American Revolution, wanted the bird of the United States to be the turkey. But because by then Thanksgiving was...
Look at our president.
Do you think he'll pardon an eagle instead tomorrow?
Yeah. But
the turkey is not a good bird for me. I need to pardon an eagle.
Getting breaking news. We have an exclusive interview with the deported turkey. Now they asked him what he did, and his response was, which I can only guess is turkey but I'm an American.
Because the turkey is, believe it or not, native to the United States.
I mean, I used to work in Yonkers, which is maybe about 45 minutes upstate from here.
Not even.
And one of our posts was a golf course, and there were wild turkeys, and I don't mean the alcohol, unfortunately.
Which is decent.
Yeah, but they were just wild turkeys who just walk on the golf course and make all their noise.
Now, couch, enough.
I think we're going to stuff you and put you in heaven.
I said enough. I am so sorry, guys. And anybody that's listening on Podbean or iHeartRadio or Stitcher or iTunes or Amazon Music or any of the other platforms that we're being listened to. And on top of that, let's give a big shout out to Podcast City Network.
Podcast City Network. Cheers.
Cheers to that. And let's give a cheers to the New York City edition. Yay. And the Florida edition of the second round. Yay. Totally killing it the last few episodes. Definitely check them out. Side note, let's go on a little sidetrack here because
why not?
We can't keep talking about the same dead turkey. We can't. This doesn't happen.
Kill it, stuff it, roast it, eat it.
Do you prefer white or dark? I like the dark meat, honestly. I think it holds more flavor. Shut up.
No. I was actually going to say, look at my dating life. That should answer your question.
White meat. He
Nothing.
also prefers the breast meat. He does. He really does. Peanut, did you steal her bone?
No, she just snarled randomly.
She does that from time to time. It's like really creepy. Because like out of nowhere, she'll just like, Daya! And I'm like, what the? This dog is possessed. Anyways, I mean.
The power of mice compels you.
Yes. But so let's go off topic here. What's going to happen in a week and a half, Josh?
WinterCon.
Oh, yeah.
WinterCon.
And since we brought up the New York City and the Florida editions, what's going to happen at WinterCon, Josh?
I believe the New York City and the Florida editions are going to meet Josh Feinics for the first time in person.
That is a very good point. I'm actually talking about the Who You Got Challenge.
Oh, that's right. It is the finals of the Who You Got Challenge.
Yes, where we have the current champion, the Notorious Bex, facing up against the former champion, Alex A-Town Ryan from the New York City edition, and the challenger, Mr. Oh So Smooth from the Florida edition. I wonder how it's going to go. It's gonna go. It's gonna be good.
I'm anxious to see how it turns out.
It's gonna be good, honestly. I mean, and you and I are gonna be there. We're gonna be cosplaying. Mm-hmm.
We won't tell you what,
but it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be awesome. He's gonna finally debut a cosplay that I've been trying to get him to do for years. Okay, because he's the only one that I trust to do it. Honestly, there's no one else in this entire world that can actually do it because I'm the only one in the entire world that does my cosplay the way that I do it. So of course. Who else than my brother, Josh Feinics, to do it the same exact way? Just different. If that makes sense.
But different.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you another bone, Butter. Anyways, but so WinterCon is coming up in a week and a half, and we will have our normal show a few days beforehand.
Mhm. And since we're talking about WinterCon,
Let's do
I'm
it.
going to throw it out there and say the Phoenix Gate is ready for Asuka, and I can't wait.
And Bray Wyatt.
With that cosplay, it's going to make sense with Asuka, but with Bray Wyatt, it's going to be the funniest
It's going to be the
shit.
funniest thing in the entire fucking world.
He is probably going to laugh his ass off at it.
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so.
I
Asuka's
think-
going to be all about it.
Yeah. I actually kind of want to learn a little bit of Japanese just so that we can like talk to her. Besides konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because poor Asuka doesn't really have a great grasp on English.
She's
Did you
working
watch
on it.
Survivor Series?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. You know what? Okay,
We're totally going off topic because you
I'm
know
gonna
what?
get
We're
off-
done talking about Turkey Genocide Day. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about things that actually interest people.
Yeah. All right. Here are my bones to pick with Survivor Series because
Please
I watched
do.
it live. Okay.
Please do.
You have a wrestler who I'm sure you could figure out through the context of this conversation who did something bad.
Oh,
It was an
no.
accident, but they did something bad and they kind of fucked up the card.
Well, actually, believe it or not, it's a happy accident because you can play that accident. Also, it's been found it was not a work.
Oh,
It was a legit.
Oh,
It was not a work. It was not a work at all. And they're playing it. And I love the fact that they're actually able to take something that could have been so fucking bad and making it fucking work.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thankfully, the WWE creative teams were able to sort of jump onto a storyline that they were probably going to end up doing anyway. But
They pushed ahead a little bit.
Yeah, they pushed it ahead a little bit because we all know, those of us that watched the WWE knew that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair were going at it every chance they got.
Yeah,
I mean,
add
they were the
Ronda
first-
Rousey into that mix.
Well, no, now you have the first women's last woman standing match,
Yeah.
which I'm sorry, Charlotte and Becky broke the house down with that, but that was Evolution.
Yes.
Now we're
But
on Survivor.
Evolution was very good too.
Yes, Evolution was great.
It was amazing.
I loved
It
it.
was so good. It actually kind of fell flat.
But all
The
right,
next
you know what? I'm just
pay-per-view
going to drop it.
afterwards
Okay,
just went flat.
Nia Jax broke Becky Lynch's face, so
Quite.
she could not defend her title, or she could not wrestle Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series in the champion versus champion match. Now we all saw it from the Mae Young Classic 2 years ago,
Yeah.
where you had the 4 horsewomen of NXT being Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair.
But
sort
that
of
was
sniping-
before Mae Young even came around. The Mae Young Classic.
that was
the Four
at
Horsemen women were before.
but where they were sniping at the other 4 horsewomen was the first
Ronda
Mae Young
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, Marina Shafir, Shayna Baszler, and Jessamine Duke.
Right.
That's the 4 horsewomen of MMA.
Of those women, 2 are now in the WWE.
All 4 are.
Well, in the WWE. The other
Oh.
2 are in NXT and
Actually, no, only one's in WWE. Just Ronda Rousey.
No, Baszler.
When did Baszler wrestle last night? She's in NXT.
Yeah, I know, but she's getting called up.
Of that, well, she's got to drop the title first.
Well, of course.
But yeah, you have Shayna, and then you have Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke interfering in Shayna Baszler's matches.
Yes.
So they're already teasing them. So yeah, so the WWE creative team said, listen, we're going to jump this 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen storyline up a little bit.
Mhm. Here's
So
the
you
problem,
had
though.
Charlotte Flair acting completely out of character. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. She beat the ever-loving crap out of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And I loved every second
Oh
of it.
my God, she beat the
She went ultra
bloody.
instinct. She went ultra instinct.
Yes, she did.
Because you saw that look on Charlotte's face. She was like, I'm a kill a bitch.
But the thing is they're actually saying that a lot of that really, while it was a work, because Ronda is still so green,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of it actually ended up being a little bit harder because the women let's not get it twisted, the women in the locker room do not like Ronda Rousey. They do not like the fact that she really didn't kind of earn her stripes the way these women
Yeah.
had to.
When
here's the other
Alexa
thing.
Bliss called her an overhyped rookie,
It's true.
that wasn't a work. That was probably a shoot.
No, it was. It was a definite wing at Ronda. And here's the other thing about it. Ronda can take the fucking hits. The bitch was one of the best in MMA, you know, before she went stupid. But it is what it is. We know that Ronda Rousey can take the fucking hits. So that's why the women in the women's locker room, the real wrestlers, I'm sorry to say, will go harder on Ronda than they would on each other.
Yeah.
Except for Nia.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Nia is just Nia.
Well, see, you know what, honestly? let's not get it twisted. Nia Jax is one of my favorite female wrestlers. Becky Lynch is my bitch. That I've been calling it since day one. I love Becky. But Nia Jax is actually known for not being very careful when she wrestles. She does not pull her punches the way she's supposed to. She does not do the moves the way that they rehearse.
Yeah, she's
can't.
reckless. She's reckless.
She's very reckless. And it's actually a known fact of how reckless she can be. Now, here's the problem. They called up Nia Jax, 2 years ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. Or maybe even a year, because my timelines are all shot. But what did they do with her since she's been called up?
Well, she had the belt once.
Yeah, once. And for how long? A week?
Yeah, like no. She had it for a month because she won it at a pay-per-view.
Right.
And then Alexa Bliss cashed in her Money in the Bank and won it back the next month.
Yes. Now, let's not get a twist. Alexa Bliss has not been wrestling either because she has not passed the concussion protocol. And there is the talk on the wind of her becoming the next Raw general manager. Because she's not passing the
I would take that
concussion
over
protocol.
Baron Corbin. Once
Baron
they cut his hair, I was done with it.
Baron Corbin's a fucking gargoyle. I hate him.
Gargoyle?
He's a fucking gargoyle. He looks like he should be perched on a ledge, kind of shit. He is a fucking gargoyle. I can't stand Baron Corbin. Fuck him, okay?
But since we're getting on some of these talents that have been brought up a couple of years, yeah, a lot of the women that have come up have gotten shafted. But I'm going to come out and say it. Asuka.
Who we're meeting in a week and a half.
The only person who may have gotten shafted more than Asuka since getting called up to the main roster is my boy Finn Balor.
Oh my God, yeah.
Finn Balor is probably one of the most athletic, most talented, most charismatic people on that roster right now.
And his accent. Sorry. I love it. And who got to meet him at Comic-Con? Me.
Well, I had to skip that thing because I had to go get ready for work.
I don't care.
I know you
I got
Balor Club.
And he did the too sweet with me. I love it. I love it. And he's so nice. He actually would have had a conversation, but he, rushed.
Yeah, you got the handlers rushing him along.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Finn Balor has really gotten the shaft. He was the first Universal Champion. I was like, yeah, he's getting the respect he deserves.
And he had to drop
it. And unfortunately, and I'll believe that was an accident. His labrum getting torn. It was.
I mean, because let's not get it twisted. Seth Rollins also very reckless.
He is a little reckless too. He broke John Cena's nose with the Revolution knee.
He broke his own knee multiple times because he does these tricks, which granted he's amazing at, but he's reckless.
The first time he tore his knee, he was doing a power bomb out of the corner, not a buckle bomb.
No.
The guy was up on the rope, and his knee just buckled.
Let's not get it twisted.
But that's also but that's the thing they're saying about CrossFit now is it causes more damage to your body.
It does.
So
I don't personally CrossFit.
I don't either. I don't see the point of flipping a monster truck tire or smacking it with a sledgehammer.
I can do that in Fire Academy.
I know.
Yeah, it's
like. I mean, but since we're talking about wrestling and CrossFit, I mean, banging a truck tire with a sledgehammer just makes me have really weird thoughts about Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Oh my God, did you hear that Stephanie McMahon said that the WWE is going to be bigger than Disney? I think she's slightly delusional. I mean, it's Disney. They just celebrated their 90th anniversary.
Disney buys everything.
Disney technically owns Fox. And
Disney owns Star Wars.
Don't say it.
I already did.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because that makes Ben Solo a Disney princess.
That makes Princess Leia a Disney princess.
She is, but she's a general. Fuck that. She's my general. Love you, Carrie. Love you, Carrie. And oh my God. Let's not get it twisted. Since Disney technically kind of owns Fox now, and isn't the WWE in a giant deal with Fox? Or talking about it?
I believe they're talking about it.
I think they're talking about it. So technically, by association.
That means Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Nia Jax,
all the
Alicia
women.
Fox. They're all Disney princesses now.
Or will be.
Wow, I can't wait to see the next Wreck-It Ralph movie with all of them in it.
I actually still want to go see the one that just came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph.
We're going. Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to go. Probably, hopefully, sometime within the next week and a half or so. Hopefully before WinterCon. So that way, next week, we can talk to you about it. Yeah. You didn't hear that.
No. These are
We
not
don't
the
do
droids you're
illegal
looking for.
things.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Nah. But either way, I mean, honestly, the way wrestling has been, and the fact that WrestleMania is being held this year, or is it, well, technically next year, because we're so close to the end of the year at this point. WrestleMania is going to be held at MetLife Stadium.
Is it MetLife Stadium or is it MSG?
I think it's MetLife.
I think it's MSG.
No, I think it might be MetLife. I don't know. But I do know that they're doing Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania at Barclays. And I think that's already sold out. And this is Misfit. And you're about to see his butt because...
Yeah, it is MetLife Stadium. Oh.
Hi, Denver! Let's give a big shout out to Denver, who is the man for Podcast City Network, of which we are a part of.
What's up, Denver?
Hi!
Glad
We
to be on
are
board.
talking Survivor Series and how wrestling has just gotten so fucking good. We're actually talking...
Well, it's gotten good in some ways, and in some ways it's gotten really bad. Now, unfortunately, the WWE
Hi,
is now...
David! David is also amazing. He's also on Podcast City Network. He does the Wrestle Podcast. He's got...
Oh, so that's why he's chimed in now, because
Yeah.
now we're talking wrestling.
And he has amazing podcasts. And then you have the Everett Lee Show with Denver. It's so freaking good. You guys should definitely check it out on podcastcity.net. Plug.
Yes.
But we're talking wrestling. Hi. We're talking wrestling. We're talking WrestleMania. I really want to go. Survivor Series was garbage.
LOL, sorry.
We
Agreed.
We agree with
We
you.
agree with you.
Evolution was so much better than Survivor
I
Series.
mean, okay, first of
And
all...
believe it or not, NXT the night before kind of fell flat for me too.
Yeah, War Games wasn't that great.
War Games was not that
I'm
great.
sorry, no, don't get me wrong. The War Games match
Yes.
was epic.
Yes.
The War Games match.
Undisputed Epic was
Era, it was Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders,
Yes.
Pete Dunne, and Ricochet. Now,
Oh,
I wasn't-
Yes,
I was
Match
not.
Wrestle podcast.
I
Thank
was
you. Sorry.
What?
I've been drinking.
Oh,
He
that's-
corrected me on the
name of his podcast.
Yeah, no, Wrestle podcast. I think is Robin. My bad.
Okay. Now, yeah, that match was great.
NXT
and I'll
was
say-
Survivor Series. It was the night before.
No, yeah.
No, War
and
Games
War
was the night
Games was
before.
Saturday, Survivor
Saturday.
Series was Sunday.
Yeah, and both of them I actually kind of felt.
No. The Sheena,
I would give it like a
I'll give you-
2.5 out of 5
I'll give you my
stars.
rundown of War Games too.
Yes, please do.
Okay. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane. A little too much interference for my taste, but generally a good match.
Agreed. Kairi Sane is an amazing wrestler. She does not get the play that she
And then
needs
you
to.
had, reinforcements coming up. So you're going to build factions because now you have Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai as one faction. And don't get me wrong, I love Dakota Kai. She is my wife. She just doesn't know it yet. But regardless,
Let's not get it twisted. Denver, we totally agree with you. NXT definitely trumped
oh yeah.
Survivor Series. But then
that's-
again,
But that's generally the way it happens. NXT generally puts out a better show.
NXT, but that's because it's run by Triple H.
Yeah.
And Triple H has more of a head for it, where Vince McMahon is kind of stuck in the old ways.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, let's not get it twisted. I love the heel turn from Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I did. I totally did.
But then just a job. I mean, there was a point where, I'm not going to lie, there was a small fraction of 5 seconds where I thought he was going to beat Lesnar.
Yeah.
And then they just did what they always did, and they gave the part-timer the win.
And then supposedly now Cena wants to be involved. He's coming back in December.
And there's another part. I'm sorry. I've not been a big fan of John Cena's for many, many years. I'm sure he puts in the work, and he is, I'll give him
He's the face.
He is the face that runs the place. He is a figurehead in the company. However, there are so many people on the quote-unquote farm leagues, the 205 Lives, the NXT UK. NXT
I actually
UK.
really don't like 205 Live.
I don't watch it. I watch NXT. I watch NXT UK.
Yeah.
NXT
The UK.
Oh my God.
Wow. I mean.
Now, for the record, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm calling less than a year before Jordan Devlin gets brought up to the main roster because he is phenomenal.
Yo, he is so
And he's
good.
the only Irish guy on the roster, too.
Mania is in my backyard. Ours too.
I know.
Ours too. Not even an hour from MetLife Stadium.
Not even an hour.
We're going. And even if we don't have tickets, I'm still going to tailgate because fuck yeah. Because, I mean, David, we can hang out. You can come you can totally tailgate with the Phoenix Gate with us. That's totally awesome. Do it.
The Phoenix tailgate.
The Phoenix tailgate. I like that.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's penned. It's trademarked. It's happening. Seth Rollins and Shinsuke was a very good
Seth
match.
Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura was a good match. The Bar versus the AOP. No, don't get me wrong.
They're misusing AOP. They are misusing AOP. I've been
So
saying
bad.
it for months.
No, for
I've been saying it for
you know when
months.
when
The
AOP
cruiserweights was very good. I didn't see the cruiserweight match.
Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy. It was an okay match.
Yeah.
I'm not big because all right. I actually watched the Cruiserweight Classic which birthed 205 Live.
He does.
The Cruiserweight Classic was great, but in the Cruiserweight Classic, Mustafa Ali was a heel. And first of all, I know everybody changes where they're from when their character changes, but he originally is from like Detroit, Michigan, and he was a cop. Like he says it in his interview that he was a cop.
Along with 9 top indie promotions in Jersey City, GCW, and the Collective. Ooh.
GCW is Jeff Jarrett's promotion,
I know.
which is now TNA.
Well, we're talking like David knows his shit.
Yeah, no,
David
I'm
knows
sure
his shit. David, like, he's been putting out some amazing content. Honestly, I'm gonna turn you on to it, get you in, like, because Josh is he's with me now. I'm gonna turn him on to all of our amazing content through Podcast City Network, and David has been doing some amazing shit right now.
Yeah,
let's not get things twisted.
Back to the run. Okay, NXT War Games wrapping up.
Ooh, I didn't
Johnny
even know that. Did
What?
you know that the 205 Live is being run exclusively by Triple H?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll give it another chance.
Yeah, I mean they have some good characters, good storylines going on.
We still have gargoyles.
But yeah, there's still some gargoyles. Like I mean, I haven't watched really 205 Live much, but
I haven't. I'm not going to deny. I can't talk about something I don't really know.
I mean, you had your first cruiserweight champion being TJ Perkins.
Is that the Filipino guy?
Yeah, that's the guy that came out with the video game entrance.
No, I hate that entrance. I really do.
Because you mixed Pac-Man with Mortal Kombat. Because you had the character select screen in the beginning, and then the little dots he's running along the little Pac-Man pellets. No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
But if you need another round,
I'm about to go get myself another round and let you just talk.
Yeah. All right. So just to wrap up my War Games and Survivor Series feelings on the matter. The women's Survivor Series match was actually pretty good. I just have an issue that they had Nia Jax basically be the big hulking brute when, she broke Becky Lynch's face, and Becky's our girl. But that being said, it was a good match. I would have liked to have seen Ember Moon in it just for an eclipse.
Yeah, where has she been?
She comes in and out.
Tony, that's my.
Speaking of the thank you, there's another one that's being misused.
Well,
Ember Moon is a beast.
Yo, I saw her premiere.
Yeah, me too on NXT.
No, I was there.
You were in Florida when she premiered in NXT?
No, she premiered in NXT in New York.
Oh, that's right. It was NXT Brooklyn.
There. I was at that NXT, and I turned around and I said to Fernando, "She's gonna be huge.
She's gonna be huge.
She's gonna be huge. It's gonna be amazing." War Games 9 out of 10. Survivor Series 3 out of 10. Agreed. Definitely agree. And only because that fucking the actual War Games match.
Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black was a great match.
Oh my god.
That was a good match. Those guys beat the piss out of each other for a good 20-25 minutes.
And it was totally worth it.
Oh yeah, it was good.
So
I mean, it ended with like Aleister Black was kind of like, I am not fucking around. Nope. I am decapitating your stupid ass.
Yep.
And 2 black masses, and I was like, oh. The first one I was just like, oh, that hurt. And then he picks him up for a second. I was like, oh.
It was glorious.
Glorious.
Oh, and that's another one that's being misused since he got called up. Bobby Roode.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I mean, first of all,
did he even have a match at Survivor Series?
Nope.
When was the last time you actually saw him?
No, he did. He was in the Survivor Series match.
Okay, but when was the last time you actually saw him have a storyline without Charlotte?
They're floundering. They're floundering to match him and Chad Gable up and make it work.
Chad Gable from
American.
No, I know, but I'm saying why?
They were a tag team.
They were.
No, they were in that opening match, the tag team gauntlet match before Survivor Series aired. Mm-hmm. That's where Bobby Roode was. Because you had the teams from SmackDown.
The one that you could see on the network.
Well, you saw the whole thing from the network.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, on the kickoff show.
Yeah, I'm saying, okay.
On the kickoff show. But yeah, Survivor Series, the women's Survivor Series match was good. The men's Survivor Series match, I'm sorry, I'm going to be that guy to say it.
Be it. Say it.
Shane McMahon should not be in the ring. his little flurry of punches, I'm sure more of them are stiff than need to be because he's just punching. It's kind of like when they had Vince wrestle.
Back
Actually,
in the day.
now and at this day and age, he's kind of looking a little
more like Vince.
I mean, he's never gonna have that huge fucking Vince McMahon jaw because he just doesn't have it.
Stephanie does.
I know, right?
I didn't say that, did I? What do you think of Nick Cage versus David Arquette at GCW?
Nick Gage. Okay, Nick Gage.
Ooh.
Nick Gage is a talent. And I don't know why GCW is doing what WCW did back in the bad old days and putting David Arquette in a match.
In the Dark Ages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages of wrestling.
The Dark Ages. When there actually was a WCW.
And ECW.
Oh my God. Yeah. You mean
and let's not get it twisted. Have you been watching Lucha?
What, Lucha Underground?
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. But
I
like
have.
It. I like it.
I love Lucha. And a lot of these Luchas, actually, believe it or not, are getting signed.
That's where they got Ricochet from.
Right, I know that's where they got Ricochet from, but look what happened. In Lucha.
Ray. They stole Ricochet and they stole Ray.
I know, but in Lucha, Ricochet was a fucking beast. He was the man.
No, you know what? No, they're doing okay with Ricochet.
They could do better.
They could do better.
They could do so much better.
But they at least... But the feud with Adam Cole was great. Mm-hmm. That was a great old school feud.
Yes, Lucha Underground is awesome. Yes. I actually do watch that.
Underground is awesome. My boy Johnny Mundo.
Yo, there's probably not a wrestling show that him and I don't watch. Honestly, I mean, 90% of my time in the morning is spent catching up on shows that I did not get to watch the night before. Because if you honestly think about it, between Raw, SmackDown, Lucha. Come on, help me out here.
SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Lucha Underground, GCW, and then you could go on the internet and read the Smart Mark sheets, and you can
watch also the Ring of Honor. You can watch New Japan, all that shit. Do you realize that I would literally, if you sit down and actually calculate the amount of hours that I spend watching wrestling, is probably, I would say, a good solid 2.5 days. 2.5 days worth of content every week.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. The women's evolution, I'm all behind. I love a lot of the talent they've been unearthing for that. But some of them, you gotta. I mean, they're not. Some of them didn't need to be brought up. Don't worry.
They still needed some polish.
Let's go on the Mae Young Classic.
Definitely. The second one or the first one?
Let's start on the first. The first one. The first one had a pretty solid cast of characters.
Most of those women did get signed to different companies.
Putting Abby Leith over Jazzy Gabbert, I will never buy.
Well, did she come back for the second round? Second Mayor?
Neither of them did.
Butter.
Neither of them.
I think that's because they got signed overseas.
They might have, but Jazzy Gabbert was a beast. That huge German chick. Oh my God! Like I was like, she's gonna crush this poor chick.
Too bad NXT didn't sign Ricochet's girlfriend, Tessa Blanchard. Impact got her.
Impact got Tessa Blanchard? Well, she was in the first Mae Young Classic.
She was. And she's wrestling royalty.
She's the daughter of Tully Blanchard and the stepdaughter of Magnum TA.
Right, and didn't they just on Lucha, who was the woman that just, I'm like literally drawing a major blank right now. There was a woman that just premiered on Lucha who is royalty. Like literal royalty.
Oh, Eddie's daughter.
Yes, Eddie Guerrero's daughter just came out on Lucha
but she's a commentator, I think.
Yeah, but she still was in the ring.
Somebody said something to her
and she said, "What?"
She stood her ground. She got in his face, and then Uncle Chavo beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
and that's all good because I'll say it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. Kerwin White was the worst gimmick that Chavo Guerrero ever did, and we have that gimmick to thank for Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of Dolph Ziggler.
But he's such a good wrestler, and that's the
He's a good mat wrestler.
Yes.
He is in a gimmick that belongs in the Attitude Era. You go back in the days of like original Stone Cold, the Brood. Yeah. That's where Dolph Ziggler would fit in. And this day,
did you see the New Day dress up as the Brood?
No, I didn't see
Yo,
that.
it was hysterical.
What was that? Was that SmackDown?
I think so. I think they just around Halloween, the New Day came out. They were Gangrel, Edge, and Christian, and they were the Brood, and it was the funniest thing I've seen in the longest time. And I love that they still sit back and the New Day actually will sit there and be cognizant of the roots of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Now, it may be a little premature, and we may have to do some recruiting. But since I follow Up Down Down, which is Xavier Woods' channel.
He follows it a little bit more religiously than I do.
Well, I like watching the video game too. I like watching Cesaro and Samoa Joe playing Tekken.
I do too.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I definitely.
But we just had the Team WWE versus Team NXT League of Legends tournament that culminated at War Games. First of all, congratulations, Team NXT. You guys played a great game. Because I've played League of Legends. I know the gameplay strategies. Y'all held it down. And special snaps to my wifey, Dakota Kai, because she was the MVP of that match with Miss Fortune.
Damn right. Tony.
But that being said, okay, Xavier Woods, you want to have a League of Legends tournament? I'm going to call you out right now. How about you get a team together and you face the Phoenix Gate in Smite?
Oh. So, quick background. Those of you that don't know what Smite is, it's a PlayStation, computer, Xbox game where you play as different gods from different pantheons, and it's usually a 5-on-5 match where, Tony, it's a 5-on-5 match where you got to kill the other team as many times as possible. If you're playing arena, you got to basically wait out the coupons or the tickets. My cat really loves me right now. But it's a great game. It's not like League and it's not like Overwatch, but it is on the same vein of it. It's definitely and I got him into it.
Yeah, she got me into Smite, and I played it all of like twice, and I was hooked.
Yep.
But our character development went into two completely different directions. Where she tends to play more of the assassin characters or
actually,
mages, or have you changed recently?
No, I'm pretty well-rounded now. I actually do play more warrior now. I have been playing a mage because I'm trying to get her to diamond. But
who are you trying to get to diamond?
Chang'e.
Chang'e.
Yeah.
Who, for those who do play Smite, you got to figure she's the most annoying character to have on the other team, a Chang'e, because she's a healer and she does a lot of damage while she's healing.
And I know how to use her.
Yeah. Now, me personally, I'm more of the hunter mage with some assassins on the thing, but I'm confident in saying that
we could take them.
We could take them. Oh my!
Take him.
I mean, I'm not gonna reveal who my best character is. She knows who my best characters are,
as are mine.
So we're gonna,
I think that we could totally take up, down, down in a Smite tournament.
We could take up, down, down, and you could find whoever you want. You could mix NXT and WWE for all I care.
As long as we play.
Yeah, I mean, I could get. What do we need? 3 more of us?
If that.
No, yeah, that's got to be 5-on-5 because we would have to do.
That's easy. I have my Wampa crew.
There you go.
There you go.
So
or Fernando.
Yeah.
Fernando's actually pretty good when it comes to certain characters.
Vulcan.
And Thor, but he's very rusty, so I'd have to actually put him through a rigorous training session.
Boot camp.
Smite boot camp.
Training montage.
This is the montage.
Wait, does that mean we have to get the pink jogging suit, a la Punch Out?
It'd be kind of funny.
And then running in the fucking pink suit,
playing the fucking PlayStation.
Come on, quick fingers. Come on, move.
Use your special. Use your ultimate. Let's go. Oh, challenge is there. I mean,
challenge is out there.
I mean, I know that I think Michael Cole follows the second rounds on Instagram.
Oh, so, up, down, down. Come out and play.
But I would definitely be down for that. Hell, I'd be down to teach the second rounds how to play and face them.
That works.
That works. I mean, we all play different games. We have our Twitch. We do that. It would be kind of easy. I mean, the boys play, I think, they play Madden, they play NBA all the time against each other.
I play Smite, I play some Call of Duty. I do play Overwatch. She's not a big fan of Overwatch.
I'm not a fan of Overwatch. I have not, and that's only because I haven't played it. Because I'm afraid, I'm a skin person. I have to collect them all. In Smite, I literally have almost every single skin that's ever been released. Except for the ones that came out before I started playing hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Well, my favorite skin to play, and I think it was released a couple of years ago. It was shortly after I started playing.
Yeah.
And for those who do play Smite, and it's going to give away one of my best characters, the skin is called Such Cold. I love that skin.
So cool. Hey. But either way,
Such lie, much scarier.
Either way, the open challenge is out there. If you want to challenge the Feinics Gate to the game Smite, or actually you want to challenge us to any type of game that we've played before, come at us. Let's go.
Come at me, bro. So,
We'll take you on.
Don't, and trust me, if you try Overwatch, yes, you, like I, need to collect all the skins.
Yeah.
But if you're patient enough, you'll get the ones you want. Because for my characters that I play, actually, one of my 2 mains I don't have any skins for, but the other one, I have the skin I want. I have the Halloween skin for that character.
Nice.
And I was happy with it.
Well, either way, on that note, since we have dropped the challenge to anyone that's willing to take it, and particularly the second round's Florida and New York City edition, it's time to say goodnight. Good night. And goodbye. Catch us next week. We will be broadcasting at our usual day and time. Shut up, dog!
Same bat time, same bat station. Holy strawberries, Batman, are they going to be in a jam?
Holy cider. Either way, it's your girl, Jade Phoenix. We're logging off. I'm sorry if you guys didn't like the first half of the show. I hope you like the second half. I don't really care if you do or you don't. If you have ideas for the show,
message us. We're more than happy to talk about whatever you want. Obviously, we don't mind putting in the research to find out what you want to talk about. Tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll get back with you.
Yeah. And then also, if you're going to be in the Queens area December 1st, come to WinterCon. Hang out with us. Hang out with the second rounds. Participate in the Who You Got Challenge. And I almost forgot to plug this. We're hosting the after party.
I will be there.
So will I. The after party is going to be at Clara's. There's free beer, free giveaways, raffle. A couple of guys that we met at GamerCon is going to be there with their games. It's going to be a really good time. If you're at WinterCon, come with us to Clara's. Get fucking wasted. Also, the food there, it's really good. It's really, really good. But either way, this is us signing off. Hit us up on our Instagram, The Feinics Gate, our Facebook, The Feinics Gate. Hit us up on our, just hit us up. Let us know, critics. You got critiques. You got comments. You got something. You got everything. A little bit of something for everybody.
You call me dog. Well, schmooze. It's all good.
Yeah, we talk about it. I put on some antipasto. We good. I am half Italian, so I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, we're out. Good night. We love you. Later. Goodbye.
Adios.
Adios.